Music in the 1960s. Music in the 1960s is very, very different to music in nowadays society. Although there are many different genres of music, in the 1960s all these genres hadn't really been discovered. Well, most of them anyway. How often do you listen to music, whether you listen to the song, the music in a film, or even the music on that video you saw on Facebook? Music is now a very big part in today's culture. It populated highly over the time from 1960s to 2014. It's basically in everyone's life, no matter how rich or how poor. In the 1960s, music was the thing, or the culture of that time, you could say. You should probably know that music wasn't invented in the 1960s, but the 60s people sure did love their music. In the 70s, my mum and dad would have been old enough to understand what's going on in the world. Back then, it wasn't like get your iPod out and plug it into the speaker. It was more like wind this handle to give the radio enough charge, which is better because it meant that they could play outside whilst the radio was on. Now it's a case of, bro, I'll have to pass this weekend because I've got stuff to do, when really they're playing on a device listening to music. Music, in a sense, overpopulated the world since the 1960s. It's not just going to the disco club to listen to music anymore. And that was a big thing in the 80s too. The Rolling Stones are an English rock band formed in Dartford, Kent in 1962. You've most likely heard of them, but if you've not, then I suggest you go listen to them because they are awesome. Anyway, the genres they played were rock, blues rock, rock and roll, rhythm and blues, and rock and blues. The Rolling Stones were big in the 1960s and still are to this day. As I was just saying just before about how some bands still alive, this is definitely a very good example of a music band being still alive to this day. The Rolling Stones were not really an industrial change in to music in the 1960s, although a lot of people kind of did like them, so they were popular. I mentioned the Rolling Stones because I was showing the bands do still exist, and I'm not just saying that to grab your attention or anything. The Walkman, I'm sure you've all heard of the Walkman before. I was a bit skeptical in using it, but then I thought it was a very, very good point in an industrial change in the 1960s. If you don't know what it is, it's basically a little machine that you put your tape into, and it was portable. But it was like kind of the first portable thing back then of music, so it kind of changed a lot of things. This little machine made a massive difference in the industrial change of music. You could never really go outside on your roller skates, as that was a massive thing in the 1960s. But now that you can listen to music, that's even better. Everyone was either listening to the radio or a record that you'd have to put into play. Nothing was really portable. When the Walkman came out, it was huge. This meant you could put your tape in, strap it to your belt, and then go play outside with your headphones on. There was two types of Walkmans. There was the Walkman, which was like a silverish greyish, and a Walkman Sports Edition, which was yellow. If you had the yellow one, you were like the hipster of everyone. Like, you were awesome. So like, it just made everything so much more popular to go outside and play. Especially if you had, one of your friends had this yellow Walkman, you just want to show it off, so you'd always go out and just have fun. So I asked my mum, what's the first thing that pops to mind when I say Walkman? She says, awesome. It was like a dream come true. I've never been able to listen to music whilst roller skating because there was nothing portable. Oh man, it was just great. Nowadays, kids just have their iPod and sit indoors. Walkman actually made you go outside more than you did already. Instead of us going out and playing, we'd sit indoor and pump up the music and party all night long. And that's not very good for us. But then again, Earth goes on as it does. Music has changed throughout the years. No one really goes and looks at all the bits and pieces of history of music back 50 years ago. It's quite interesting to go and actually research it to see what it was like, how bands have changed from the indie years to all-around years. Looking at how music has changed has shown me how much we upgrade the world but degrade the people. It shows how much of an impact music actually has and why it has an impact.